Hi friends, I am here to talk about March TBR. I've been a little MIA, not much, but a little bit, maybe a week, week and a half, and mainly just because I didn't have much to talk to you about book-wise. I've finished a couple of books. I did vlog the mini deck of TBR-thon and just didn't have the energy, haven't had the energy to edit the vlog, but I decided I'm just gonna do a last 2 weeks of February vlog for you, because a few things have happened and there is a new dog here. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen our new dog, and I've also had some adventures that were a lot of fun. And yeah, I am in a fatigue flare. My chronic illness causes chronic fatigue, if, you know, especially after what I did. Just a full day of adventure and cold and yeah, all the things, but it was so much fun. And yeah, now we need to talk about March reading. I've made a TBR. I did not stick to my TBR in February. So I've made a TBR for March. It's my hopefuls. I would love to be able to do this. I also want to catch up with my February TBR. As in January, I have been setting my TBR based on some of the challenges I'm doing. I'm not doing a lot of readathons this year, just because it can get overwhelming. I am doing a number of challenges, so overwhelm myself a different way. But March is two of my favorite readathons in the same month. Middle Grade March, which is hosted by Krista, Katie, and Amanda. I'll link their channels below. And then Irish Readathon, which is hosted by Leanne and Ava. And they're happening. They've got prompts. I'm not going to try to do all the prompts, though I may give you some videos with suggestions to fill the prompts later in March. Because they're really, I think, really cool and creative prompts. But so I've set a few books that I might be interested in reading for those, and then again, my challenges. So let's just jump into it. So first we're going to talk book clubs. I don't have either book, and I'm not positive I'm going to read both of them. In February, I did read my in-person book club book. We had a meeting, and the book club meeting with the author, it was also a NetGalley book for me, so it just worked out. The in-person book club pick this time is When We Were Brilliant by Lynn Cullen, and I'm pretty sure she's a local author to me in Georgia. And I'm pretty sure, again, that that the author is gonna be at the book club meeting for this book, it was a really cool experience in February. So I'm gonna try and get that and read it. For Krista at Books and Jams, her Patreon group is book club is Escape from Aleppo by N.H. Sensei, I think is how you say it. Since she's one of the hosts for middle grade, she primarily reads middle grade in March. So I think I'm going to try and get that from a library or maybe an audiobook. So let's jump into what I'm going to read for the readathons. For middle grade March, there is a prompt for books on the cover, or a book on the cover. And I'm going to read Schooled by Jamie Sumner. Jamie Sumner is one of my favorite middle grade authors. This is also a NetGalley book for me. This is about a boy that goes, it's like a kind of an experimental program where he goes with a group of kids to study on a college campus. I think there's some grief elements to this as well. Jamie Sumner is, in my opinion, just one of the great contemporary middle grade authors. So I'm very interested in this. And then for the Irish Readathon, they always have a prompt of green on the cover. And then there's also a prompt this year for a great first line. And so I'm going to read Walk the Blue Fields. But if you look closely, there's green down there by Claire Keegan, who is one of my favorite authors in general. She is an Irish author. And I found the first line of this, it's a short story collection. I found the first line intriguing, which for me is a good line. Like, I want to continue reading. So the first line is, when sunlight reaches the foot of the dressing table, you get up and look through the suitcase again. Okay, yeah, I gotta keep reading to find out what they're looking for. Those are the two books that I'm gonna try to read for the readathons. Maybe some more. Realistically, probably not. I'll be great if I can get to those two. But I should say, I'm going to go through the rest of my challenges, and I have tried to fit books, either Irish authors or middle grade books, in the prompts for my challenges. So there's that. I need to read a book of the month. I'm behind. It is the third month of the year. I have not. This is the end of February when I'm recording this. I have not read a book of the month book yet in February. I don't really see that happening because I currently have 2 physical books, 3 physical books, and an audiobook going. And there's only a couple days left of February. So I just don't see another book of the month happening. So I'll catch up. I really will. But I'm going to read Good Material by Dolly Alderton, which I started before and I liked it. I just got distracted by other things. But I just checked out the audiobook for this. So I think I have a number of books that I have to physically read. Like I don't have access to the audiobooks. So anything I can get on audio for these challenges is going to be really helpful for me. So for the Read Good challenge, hosted by Ben Reads Good, it's Oscar adapted. So an Oscar winner adaptation. And this was a little bit challenging. There's a lot. The Oscars are, have been around for a long time. But I was trying to fit it with the other prompts or other readathons that I'm doing. So I'm going to read Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. From what I looked at, there's a 1968 adaptation, and the actor won an Oscar for, I think, Best Actor, maybe supporting, I don't remember. So let's read the back of this. Charlie Gordon is about to embark on an unprecedented journey. Born with an unusually low IQ, he has been chosen as the perfect subject for an experimental surgery that researchers hope will increase his intelligence, a procedure that has already been highly successful when tested on a lab mouse named Algernon. As the treatment takes effect, Charlie's intelligence expands until it surpasses that of the doctors who engineered his metamorphosis. The experiment appears to be a scientific breakthrough of paramount importance until Algernon suddenly deteriorates. Will the same happen to Charlie? I've heard a lot about this book, and I just never read it in high school like a lot of people did. So yeah, that's going to be the one I read for Ben Reads Good. I'm actually also going to, I think this is going to fit for the Savage prompt from from Simon Savage and his mom Louise. Their prompt is beast. I guess that can be interpreted in any different way. A highly intelligent mouse, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it fits. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. And then I may be stretching, but for Chantel at Chantel Reads All Day, her challenge is to read your book. For Read Your Bookshelf challenge is a weapon on the cover. And okay, so there are bricks on this cover of Schooled. I feel like that could be a weapon. So I'm just gonna have to go with that. And then for the buzzword from Books and Lala, the buzzword is this or that, and the cover prompt is action or movement. So this is a middle grade, and it's called Each Little Bird That Sings by Deborah Wiles. And if you look, the wind is blowing. So there's movement and action on the cover, and there's the word that. So that works, right? Okay, so that's what I'm hoping to read for the challenges that I'm doing, my own challenge of reading a book of the month. All these books are books that I own already, except for those book club books that I'm gonna get from somewhere. The other thing, and the priority above all of these, is I'm still reading my books for the BookTube Prize. I am doing the first round, judging the first round of fiction. So I have a lot of reading to do, and then most of it's physical because I was only able to find one audiobook. I've read 2. So I had already read one of my list. I've read one on the list that I got prior to getting the list. So I've completed one that's on the list of the ones I needed to read. So I still have 4 books to read. One of them I've started on audio, and then 3 physical books. And physical reading has not been good for me lately. But those are my priority. Those need to be done by the end of March 30th, I think, actually. So those will happen first. Those will be definite. Let me know in the comments below what you're reading. Are you participating in Middle Grade March or the Irish Readathon or any other readathons? Let me know. I know there's other readathons going on. I honestly haven't had a lot of energy to watch BookTube either. So I feel like I'm a little out of the know of what's going on. But anyway, that's life sometimes, and things are good, like I said. And I did read some good stuff in February. Wasn't what I had planned, but still got some good books, good reading. I am going to be doing a vlog basically of the last 2 weeks in February. And I also will introduce you to the new dog, our new dog, who is not what we expected to get, but just kind of happened. I will tell you his story in another video. So if you'd like to find out more about that, hit the subscribe button, like button, all the fun stuff. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you soon. Bye.